This is the story of Grace and her travels around Australia. Let's meet the family. There's Mum, Dad, Luke, Billy, and of course me, Grace. Oh, and there's Bess, Tigger, and Buffy. But they had to all stay at home. We all travelled around Australia for 3 months, squished into Papa's camper trailer. Luke had to sleep outside though. First, we headed for the coast. We went through the Barossa Valley and stayed in a camping ground at Streaky Bay. Billy had to use the girls' bathroom because he is little. The next day, Billy said,
"Are we there yet?"
We spent 2 days crossing the Nullarbor Plain. We each had our own spots in the car. We went to Head of Bight and saw the whales. The next day, we drove for what seemed like forever in a straight line until we reached Rottnest Island. After we had seen Perth, we went and saw the pinnacles. And Billy said,
"Are we there yet?"
We then headed up north and saw some dolphins, and then went snorkeling in Turquoise Bay. It was getting hotter, so I had to wear my hat. We visited Broome in the outback, and then flew over the Bungle Bungles in a helicopter. It was kind of scary because it had no doors. At Tunnel Creek, we waded through an underground river. I still think there were things in the water. We started driving again and got bogged, and Billy said,
"Are we there yet?"
At Alice Springs, we stayed with one of Mum's friends, and she got us to eat strange grubs. We headed to Uluru, and we could see it from far away because it was so big. We headed to the very top of the Northern Territory and then floated down Catherine Gorge. We stayed with our cousins in Darwin and played in their pool. Billy said,
"Are we there yet?"
At Kakadu, we caught fish and saw some art from the Dreamtime. We headed across the top to Mount Isa and we went to a circus. A cheeky elephant ate my hat. We got to ride horses and Dad bought me a new hat. The next day we drove through a rainforest and Billy said,
"Are we there yet?"
In far north Queensland, we went to the Great Barrier Reef. In Cairns, we spent so much time in the pool and then we headed to Hinchinbrook Island. We drove inland and visited friends at Miles, and Lou got to shear a sheep. At Surfers Paradise, we went on a scary bungee ride. Later in the week, we caught heaps of fish off the jetty at Forster. Billy said,
"Are we there yet?"
We drove down to Sydney and stayed at Uncle Pete's garden. At the zoo, I thought another elephant was going to eat my hat. We went bushwalking in the Blue Mountains, and on the last night we had a picnic and saw the fireworks in the harbour. We visited Canberra and then Mount Hotham. It was so cold. Next was Tasmania, and we got there on a big red ferry across the Bass Strait. We went to the Hobart Museum, Cradle Mountain, and then played Monopoly for hours because it rained so much. We got back on the ferry and went to the mainland, and Billy said,
"Are we there yet?"
We visited Squeaky Beach at Wilson's Prom and saw the penguins at Phillip Island. They were so cute. Melbourne was so loud and busy compared to where we had been. We went back along the Great Ocean Road and saw the 12 Apostles, and we were nearly home. Billy woke up and said,
"Are we there yet?"
And we were. We were home. It was great to be home, see all of the animals.
Winch discusses how text can contribute to individuals widening knowledge and understanding of themselves and their world through images, ideas, and concepts presented by the author. Lester's book, Are We There Yet?, is a perfect example, providing the opportunity for the audience to expand and discuss their knowledge in relation to the text. Alison Lester's incorporation of a number of literacy devices works to enhance the reader's experience and maintain student engagement in conjunction with making the audience feel a sense of belonging through the use of familiar characters. There are a number of limitations and issues associated with Lester's text in relation to classroom application. However, the many benefits outweigh these. Are We There Yet is a fantastic text that should be utilised by educators of all year levels to explore literature and the culture and locations Australia has to offer.
Grace's journey around Australia with her family and readers alike is an adventure made humorous through Lester's use of vocabulary and illustrations. The text is made up of scattered blocks of text, diagrams, and illustrations that work together to demonstrate the multiple places to visit and explore in each location and the craziness of family holidays. Grace narrates her journey in a manner appropriate for school-aged children, with cheeky captions added to the illustrations of her experiences that provoke giggles from the audience and evoke meaning in the reader's mind. Meaning is seen to be at the core of all reading, but also in the reader's head. Are We There Yet explores Winch's idea that each individual will take something different from a text, dependent on their prior experiences, knowledge, and interests. Readers will take what they will from Grace's holiday in relation to themselves and what they have seen of the Australian country.
Lester's text is a combination of both fact and fiction, together producing an appealing book for students of all ages. The author's combination of some truth, fiction, and adventure transforms this text from a mere piece of literature to a contemporary and informative text. It gives rise to a number of teaching opportunities and prospects for classroom application, beginning with geographical studies, Australian culture, and history and art. Although the text, due to its length, is more suitable for senior school students, an educator can modify and choose specific pages for younger year levels and focus more on the visual literacy than on the written literature to warrant the use of the text across all ages. Although the text is rather long, there is a small amount of written literature. The author relies largely on the illustrations to depict her story, with each picture expanding and contributing to the author's ideas. Lester ensures her images make meaning with the hidden knowledge and illustrations. This ensures the text is appropriate for both preps, who can focus largely on the illustrations, to grade 6, who can pursue extra meaning and expand on the written literature from the illustrations.
During placement, we were required to choose a piece of children's literature to read with the group of students. We chose the book Are We There Yet?, written and illustrated by Alice and Lester. Each member of our group took an individual approach to presenting Lester's text to their students. This allowed us to explore a range of reading techniques which you could analyse, compare and contrast to each other's experiences. Overall, our group found this experience to be valuable and supportive to our ideas and understandings. Our reflections, which can be accessed in the Prezi, articulate our experiences in more detail. There was a unanimous decision made across the group that the most ideal way to read the story would be to break it down into sections and read sections over multiple days. By doing so, our group believes that there could be a focus on discussing and sharing stories about the different places that the students have been to themselves. Other examples of improvements discussed in our reflections are the need to improve the engagement and attention of students, asking more questions of the students whilst reading the book, and the need to reflect more on different elements of the text.